Namaste and a very good morning to you all. On behalf of Clean Cooking Explorer Development Team, the Alternative Energy Promotion Center, Clean Cooking Alliance, World Resource Institute, Royal Institute of Technologies, KTH Sweden, Nepal Open University, and organizing team of this global launch of the Clean Cooking Explorer for Nepal, I, Karuna Bajajari, Nepal Country Manager for Clean Cooking Alliance, would like to welcome all the distinguished guests, committed partners for clean cooking sector in Nepal, and dear colleagues and partners attending this important global launch virtually. Established in 2010, Clean Cooking Alliance works with a global network of partners to build an inclusive industry that makes clean cooking accessible to families around the world. Clean cooking supports the development, scale, distribution, and consistent use of clean cooking solution by mobilizing investment, driving consumer demand, and fostering the enabling environment. No one's life limited to how they cook. CCA has been working closely with AEPC and other stakeholders in clean cooking sector in Nepal since 2017. So one of the remarkable project we did, demonstration project named Maximizing Health Benefits Through Clean Cooking in peri-urban Nepal, in one of the pioneer efforts towards demonstrating how people can be effectively supported to transition to electric cooking. This was possible by targeted awareness campaign and behavioral reinforcement. And other is intervention of market-led electric cooking in Isimot supported resident mountain village at Nuwakot as a part of reconstruction package for earthquake affected community as another important milestone. So other is developing standard for electric cooking appliance such as induction cooker, electric pressure cooker, and infrared in Nepal in close collaboration of Nepal Bureau of Standards and Metrology and another crucial activity for strengthening the quality assurance regime. CCA in close collaboration with AEPC is leading the development of country action plan for transforming cookstove and fuel markets in Nepal to leverage momentum of Nepal's broader energy access goals, especially those related to the promotion of electric cooking. A clearly defined strategic and evidence-based country action plan will prioritize activities essential to scale up the adoption of clean cooking, helping government of Nepal to achieve universal access to the clean cooking by 2030. Working closely with AEPC and partners, we felt need for a platform that helps bring all the essential information that is relevant to scaling up clean cooking access at one place. This will certainly inform policy planning, thereby supporting Nepal in attaining national goals pronounced by various plans and policy documents. The Clean Cooking Explorer being launched today is the first of its kind. This is online, open source, interactive geospatial data platform for accelerating clean cooking access in Nepal. The special platform integrates and supports analysis of geospatial data sets related to both potential and demand and supply function for clean cooking services, allowing the data-driven planning, coordination, and decision-making to support uptake of adoption of clean cooking. The tool play an important role helping government of Nepal to achieve its ambitious clean cooking target, especially towards widespread adoption of clean cooking. It is important to mention here that Nepal has envisioned 25% of households using electric cooking, their primary mode of cooking by 2030. We are honored that Dr. Surendralal Karna, Honorable Member of Planning Commission of Nepal, has kindly graced this launch event by his presence in as the chief guest. And we also very grateful that Dr. Madhusudan Adhikari, Executive Director of AEPC, is as a chairperson of this event. With your kind permission, I'm going to formally start this grand launch program. We will begin with the call to Dias. May I request Dr. Madhusudan Adhikari to chair this launch event. May I request Honorable Member of Planning Commission, Dr. Surendralal Karna, to take a seat as a chief guest of this launching program. Yeah, invite to the dais Professor Dr. Silu Manandar Bajacharya, Vice Chancellor of Nepal Open University, as a guest of this launching program with with your permission, I'm going to read out the detailed agenda for the program. So we'll have our welcome note by Mr. Navaraj Dakal, Deputy Executive Director of Alternative Promotion Center, followed by opening video remarks by Dr. Donny Alexander, Senior Director, Clean Cooking Alliance. Overview of Clean Cooking Explorer, leveraging geospatial data tools to accelerate clean cooking by Alicia Oberholzer, Clean Cooking from Clean Cooking Alliance. And there will be official launch announcement from of the Clean Cooking Explorer by Chief Guest, Honorable Member Planning Commission, Professor Dr. Surendra Lavkarna. Live demonstration of Explorer Dr. Bozras Gimizio from Open University. And then followed by remarks by Professor Dr. Silu Manandar Bajacharya, Vice Chancellor of Nepal Open University, remarks by our chief guest, Honorable Member National Planning Commission, Professor Dr. Surendra Lavkarna. Then we will have a 15 minutes comments and feedback from participants. Then the closing remarks and vote of thanks by our chairperson, Moses Adhikari. So may I request Navaraj Dakal, Deputy Executive Director of Alternative Energy Promotion Center, for a welcome note.
Thank you, Karunaji. Respected chairperson of this global launch of Clean Cooking Explorer for Nepal event, Dr. Madhusudan Adhikari, Executive Director, Alternative Energy Promotion Center. Respected chief guest, Honorable Member, National Planning Commission, Professor Dr. Surendra Lavkarna, Professor Dr. Silu Bajacharya, Vice Chancellor of Nepal Open University, distinguished guests representing various sectors, government organizations, research and academic institutions, private sector, NGOs, development partners, and all the colleagues who are professionals in the clean cooking sector or energy sector in general, and colleagues who are joining across different part of the world through the virtual means. Very warm welcome to this global launch ceremony for the Clean Cooking Explorer. As our colleague Karunaji has already given some background in her MC's remarks, this is a platform which is online, open source, and interactive geospatial data platform that is going to be used as a tool that will support in decision making, that will gather data from different sectors together, and then that will help us to get informed decisions for this clean cooking sector. And this will also help to have a single source to gather data from various sources, and then do coordination and collaboration among the organizations who are active in the sector. Actually, this development of Clean Cooking Explorer is very timely, as government has announced very tall targets for the clean cooking sector recently, which has already been mentioned also, especially through second NDC. There is a goal to reach 25% of the Nepali people by electric cooking by 2030. Similarly, as per the 15th plan, there are targets to disseminate clean cooking technologies like 200,000 biogas in 5 years' time, 500,000 into cook stoves. Similarly, under the SDG status and roadmap for Nepal, the Ministry of Energy, Water Resource and Irrigation's white paper, and various other policy and strategy documents, the clean cooking has been a priority area. As we all know, nearly 2/3 of energy is being still contributed by the traditional biomass in this country. And most of the Nepali people are still relying on traditional biomass like firewood, dried dung, and agri residue as a primary fuel for cooking. Through the concerted efforts made by the government, civil society organization, development partners, private sector, and financing institutions, we would really like to change the situation. And the energy transition is high on the agenda in the recent government's policy, strategy, and plan documents. Through this platform, the partners who have engaged in the development of this platform are hoping that we would really have a good collaboration and cooperation among the partners, especially to coordinate the initiatives that are scattered through various sources also. So with this very brief background, I would like to once again welcome you all in this launch ceremony. And I would also like to thank you in advance for making the time, despite your busy schedule, to attend this event, and look forward to coordinating and collaborating with you in the days and years ahead to realize the targets announced by the government in the clean cooking sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhusudanji. So there's one logistic announcement I forgot to mention. To our Zoom participants, I would like to request to use dedicated question and answer feature, ask question in Zoom. All questions will be answered during the dedicated question and answer session, and the webinar will be recorded. So, I would like to play the remarks from Doni to the technical team.
So first, let's talk about the why behind the Clean Cooking Explorer. As you know, the reliance on polluting cooking fuels and technologies impacts many facets of life, including health, the climate and environment,
Sorry, there is some technical difficulty. So I would like to play technical team to Alicia to present the overview of Clean Cooking Explorer. Alicia, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Start,
great.
please.
Okay, sounds good. Let me share my screen real quick. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay,
clearly.
great. Okay, I'll get started. All right, so hi everyone. It's such an honor to be here today at the global launch of the Clean Cooking Explorer for Nepal. For those of you who haven't met me virtually, my name is Alicia Oberholzer, and I'm a Senior Associate of Research at the Clean Cooking Alliance. And so as Karuna and Dr. Madhusudan mentioned, the Clean Cooking Alliance has been working in very close partnership with the Alternative Energy Promotion Center to accelerate clean cooking access in Nepal. And we aim to support the government of Nepal and contribution goals. So as part of these efforts, we have been leading the development of the Clean Cooking Explorer in partnership with the World Resources Institute, Cartoza, the KTH Royal Institute of Technology, Nepal Open University, and the Alternative Energy Promotion Center. So I'm really looking forward to giving you all some more background about the Clean Cooking Explorer and why it is such an exciting tool. And then my colleague Boj will be giving a live demonstration of the tool as well. So first, I'd really like to talk about the why behind the Clean Cooking Explorer. So as you know, the reliance on polluting cooking fuels and technologies negatively impacts many facets of life, including health, climate and the environment, and gender and livelihoods. So every year, up to 4 million people die from the illnesses associated with exposure to smoke from polluting open fires or inefficient stoves. And the burning of solid fuels to meet household energy needs is responsible for over half of global black carbon emissions, which is a major contributor to climate change. And then further, the lack of access to clean cooking fuels forces women and children to spend hours gathering fuel, anywhere from 4 to 20 hours per week. Or when they don't have to collect fuel, they have to spend significant household income purchasing it. So for further background, as you likely know, the government of Nepal has prioritized energy access as a vital step to improve population welfare, economic prosperity, and energy sovereignty for the country. And the government of Nepal announced the years of 2018 to 2028 as the decade of energy and hydropower to realize the dream of prosperous Nepal, happy Nepali. And in line with this vision, they have set very ambitious clean cooking targets through the 15th five-year plan and enhanced nationally determined contribution, including 20% of households adopting electric cooking as the primary cooking mode by 2022 and 2023, by installing 500,000 improved cook stoves in rural areas, along with 200,000 household biogas plants and 500 large-scale biogas plants, as well as 25% of households adopting electric cooking as the primary cooking mode by 2030. Okay, so then the question is, how can we achieve access to clean cooking solutions? And scaling access to clean cooking solution requires carrying out proper energy planning to match the supply with the growing demand for clean cooking and improved cooking solutions in the most cost-effective way. And so traditionally, energy planning has required many data inputs and parameters in order to solve optimization problems. And so to keep these models solvable in a reasonable time, most of them don't allow for granular analyses. They oftentimes consider spatially aggregated regions, so they don't allow for a granular view. And then, so typical energy planning tools largely inadequate for regional energy access planning, as they fail to consider the spatial fluctuations of energy systems. However, the spatial dimension is really important for planning access to clean cooking, because several data related to clean cooking demand and supply are comprised of geographic attributes. So for example, if you think about supply, clean cooking and improved cooking supply, such as power infrastructure, that varies across space and time. And then similarly, if you consider demand side factors like affordability for improved cook stove solutions and clean cooking solutions, that varies greatly from one area to another. So without geospatial information, these details, which are essential in clean cooking planning, cannot be captured. And so in essence, the simplification used by conventional energy planning tools call for a more integrated and granular solution. And here is where geospatial information is of key importance to help identify effective clean cooking plans to scale access. And so we need to consider the geographical characteristics of energy resources. We also need to think about the spatial dimension of social and economic drivers of demand. And we also need to consider access to and availability of geospatial data and the establishment of programs to collect these data where they are not available. So given all of this, there is a need for a multi-dimensional clean cooking platform. And so first of all, there is a need for a platform that treats demand and supply as equal, because if we don't understand the demand from the bottom up, supply strategies will not be viable either for consumers nor for utilities. So we need a platform that synthesizes granular data on both demand and supply while taking into account other criteria and constraints, which are geospatial in nature, such as access to finance, environmental resources, proximity to electrical infrastructure, and much more. And then secondly, it's really important that we reduce the reliance on technical and programming expertise, such as geospatial information capacity, so that users such as planning agencies, providers of clean cooking technologies, development finance institutions, and service development organizations with limited or no GIS capacity can be able to develop custom high resolution geospatial analyses. And then lastly, there's a need to deploy an open source dynamic information system to store and administer data and functions. And data providers need access to open source, which means that there is no licensing cost to access the platform, especially in geographies where there's no established means of disseminating spatial data and collecting and synthesizing data from different databases in various formats can be very resource intensive. And so all of these reasons are exactly why the Clean Cooking Alliance and its partners have developed the first online open source and interactive clean cooking planning tool named the Clean Cooking Explorer. So how exactly will the Clean Cooking Explorer accelerate clean cooking access? So users of the Clean Cooking Explorer will be able to customize analyses and identify areas where access to clean cooking can be expanded based on their specific perspective. So more specifically, the platform enables strategic decision-making and effective planning related to clean cooking options. So organizations and agencies, for example, can use the platform to identify areas where the uptake of clean cooking should be prioritized based on location-specific data on demand, supply, and environment through geospatial suitability analysis. And just as an example, government stakeholders and investors can identify areas in need for assistance based on high demand for clean cooking, low access to supply, and low ability to pay. And then further, the tool also promotes the expansion of clean cooking markets because clean cook stoves and improved cook stove providers, they can use the platform to better assess where areas are where their customers are likely to be located and where there is potential concentration of demand. So the platform synthesizes location-specific data on supply. So for example, resource and infrastructure availability, and then also demand such as demographic and usage to help technology providers explore and better identify market opportunities to plan for market expansion. And then lastly, the tool also enables data-driven coordination across all levels of government, the federal, provincial, and local. So the platform functions as a data repository which synthesizes up-to-date location-specific information relevant for various stakeholders. So this essentially provides a one-stop platform for geospatial data, creating alignment across all levels of government and relevant stakeholders. And so how exactly does the Clean Cooking Explorer work? So the Clean Cooking Explorer offers a multi-criteria analysis approach to identify high priority areas where access to clean cooking can be expanded. And the multi-criteria analysis essentially just means that the analysis is defined by the user's perspective. So users can choose which data sets should be considered, assign weights to data sets, and apply filters as well. And the tool is designed as a modular tool that considers the multidimensionality of access to clean cooking. So as a result, it was built according to Nepal's specific context and aligned with input we received from various stakeholders, as well as the data availability. And currently, the Clean Cooking Explorer analyzes several spatial data sets on both energy supply and demand, and it can host different types of data at various resolutions, scales, and formats. So right now we have data from open census, satellite databases, as well as other national and subnational data sets. And the tool uses current location-specific resource availability and infrastructure data to represent energy supply. And then it incorporates demographic data and data on social and productive uses to visualize the demand for clean cooking services. Okay, and what exactly does the Clean Cooking Explorer do? So we're going to take a look at the tool as Boj will be giving a live demonstration, but just a really broad overview. The tool provides an interactive spatial analysis tool that allows you to create specific scenarios. So it basically enables users to identify areas with high expansion potential, as well as areas where assistance is needed, making it a useful tool for both policymakers and private investors. And then the Clean Cooking Explorer also has a very friendly, user-friendly administration interface. And so that means that the Clean Cooking Explorer administration interface it's used to mobilize data from the spatial data content management system into the tool. So anyone who's an admin user can use the interface to create new use cases and scenarios and to describe the contextual purpose of each spatial data layer in the system. So it allows admin users to mobilize data to the tool. And so it makes it really easy and time efficient for new data to be added to the tool as time goes by. And I also briefly wanted to touch upon an additional tool that will be incorporated into the Clean Cooking Explorer named Onstove. It is a cost-benefit analysis tool, which will be incorporated into the Clean Cooking Explorer as soon as it has been peer-reviewed. And so Onstove can determine the net benefit of cooking with different stoves across an area with respect to capital, fuel, and salvage costs, as well as reduced morbidity, reduced mortality, time saved, and emissions avoided. So the tool will select the technology that can provide cooking in each area with the highest net benefit. And so Onstove will work together with the Clean Cooking Explorer. So the Clean Cooking Explorer focuses on identifying potential areas where clean cooking can be easily adopted, areas where markets for clean cooking technologies can be expanded, or areas with need for financial assistance or additional infrastructure. So in summary, it identifies priority areas of action from the user perspective. And then so on the other hand, after identifying those areas, Onstove can provide detailed information on costs and benefits of those cooking technologies, such as the net benefit mix of technology, investment costs, deaths avoided, health costs avoided, emissions avoided, and time saved. And so these data sets can then be used to filter the results from the Clean Cooking Explorer. And here we have an example results for Nepal. So as you can see, the tool identifies which technology provides the highest net benefit in each area in terms of deaths avoided, health costs avoided, emissions avoided, and time saved, and also reports the associated costs of the recommended technology mixture. And finally, and before setting up for the live demo, I wanted to emphasize the fact that this is not the end of this initiative, rather than an important milestone. So in terms of what's next, it's really important and critical that we ensure the sustainability of the platform. So we are planning multiple capacity building opportunities. For example, following this event, we will be delivering a training workshop to end users and data providers to ensure that they are equipped with the right knowledge to use and incorporate data in the platform. And we will provide any ongoing technical support to the Alternative Energy Promotion Center as needed to help them administrate the platform successfully and implement the platform as well. And then we also encourage user feedback so that we can incorporate any requests into future iterations of the platform. And with that, you can also feel free to reach out to the Clean Cooking Explorer team at my email if you have any feedback or are interested in contributing to the tool. Thank you so much for listening, and I really look forward to your questions and comments.
Thank you, Alicia. Now, may I request the technical team to play Donnie's remark?
Welcome and good evening. My name is Donnie Alexander. I am our Chief Science and Learning Officer here at the Clean Cooking Alliance. At CCA, we work with a global network of partners to bring clean cooking to the billions without it. CCA complements the work of partners to build a dynamic, inclusive, and financially stable industry with the goal of achieving universal access to clean cooking by 2030. This will lead to improved health, reduced climate and environmental impacts, empowered women, and improved livelihoods. We cannot talk about clean, sustainable, and equitable energy access without ensuring that families have access to clean cooking. But the pathway to achieving this complex and context specific. CCA recognizes Nepal's deep commitment to achieving universal access to clean cooking by 2030. Over the last few years, CCA has had the pleasure of working together with AEPC to accelerate clean cooking access in Nepal. We've collaborated on various cooking initiatives in Nepal, and we aim to support the government of Nepal to achieve its SDG 7 and NDC goals by accelerating the scale-up of clean cooking throughout the country. Achieving Nepal's ambitious clean cooking targets, which include 25% of households primarily using electricity to cook by 2030, requires the right data and analytical tools. CCA is honored to work with APC, the World Resources Institute, Cartosa, KTH Royal Institute of Technology, and Nepal Open University to pioneer the Clean Cooking Explorer, which will serve as an important blueprint for energy access planning in other areas. Over the last year, CCA has led the development of the Country Action Plan for transforming the cook stoves and fuels market in Nepal, in collaboration with APC, to leverage the momentum of Nepal's broader energy access goals, especially those related to the promotion of electric cooking. The Clean Cooking Explorer will play a vital role in implementing the Country Action Plan to support the government in achieving a national scale clean cooking transition. The tool will empower data-driven decision-making, enhanced planning and coordination, and implementation for achieving Nepal's ambitious clean cooking targets. Through the capacity building and training, CCA will ensure that APC can maintain and manage the platform for years to come. CCA looks forward to continuing the work with APC to successfully implement the CCE in Nepal and scale the platform to other countries in coming years. I hope you enjoy the rest of today's launch and celebration. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, may I request Professor Dr. Surendra Labkarna, Member Planning Commission, to officially launch the platform. So, thank you, Professor Dr. Surendra Labkarna, Member Planning Commission. Now, may I request Dr. Bhojraj Ghimire to operate the live demonstration update.
Good morning, good afternoon, maybe good night at some part of the world, even midnight. Respected Chairperson of the program, Dr. Madhusudan Adhikari, Executive Director of AEPC. Honorable Member of Planning Commission, Professor Dr. Surendra Labkarna, Chief Guest of the program. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nepal Open University, Professor Dr. Shilu Manandar Bajracharya. All the guests who are physically present here in Nepal and those who are participated right now via Zoom link throughout the world. It's our pleasure to work with the dynamic team from around the world who are pioneer at their own domain, and with the result of almost a year, we are here now on the launch program of Clean Cooking Explorer. Just ahead, before 1 minute, the chief guest has inaugurated this Clean Cooking Explorer tool, and now it's open and public to the global audience, which is open, and it will not need any credentials in the days to come after today. Today and the day followed by today, we'll have a detailed discussions and tutorials to have a better understanding by the end users and technical data providers. But at this inaugural functions, I will be quickly going through few of the prominent features that my colleague Alicia had just presented earlier. Well, when you land to this page, you'll find a lot of menus at the top, and there are information about Clean Cooking Explorer and many information down. To move to the actual platform, there are two menus. One, either you click this Clean CCA tool or click the Explore the CCA here. Let me click one of them. After I click it, you are now redirected to a page where you will be shown the map of Nepal, because this is designed for Nepal right now. There are different filters on the province level. You can have a whole Nepal's analysis at once, or you can choose the district, or even you can move to a particular municipal area as well. But for this demo, I'll just use whole Nepal's case. There are two tools. One on the right, go to Explorer tool, that will just explore in a while. And there's another button called Discover the Cases on the left side. This particular cases is specifically for those people who are not aware of the aware of this geospatial analysis, and they do not know how to work around with the remote sensing and GIS related data layers. So here, when they click on this tool, they will be redirected to a predefined use cases by the administrator. They will go around and see different type of cases and decision points. Today, I'm not going to this case, but I'll just navigate you through this Explorer tool. Once you click the Explorer, then we have another screen coming up. This particular screen has been divided into 3 different parts. The left portion gives us a lot of data lists. Most of them are geospatial data. And the middle portion gives us the map, and the right portion, which is a little bit blocked by this diagram, the right portion is now, the right one will give us the result. Let me just walk you through the data first. So as just Alicia had mentioned earlier, on the demand side, there might be a lot of data side which will be which are the demanding points for the clean energy, especially for the cooking purpose. So here they are grouped into 2 different categories. One is social and then productive use. Here we have currently collected commercial cooking, educational institutes and facilities, and health facilities. They are supposed to consume more cooking fuel than the household, but anyway, this is a bulk cooking sort of data that we've collected. And on the demographic side, there is one particular data set called population of Nepal. This is a proxy for the, again, demand side. And then there are 2 more data sets you can see. One is International Wealth Index. That is also somehow related to demand, as the higher the wealth index or better the GDP, they are better in a position to demand for the clean energy, clean cooking energy. So let's quickly, click one or 2 of them just to have our demonstration purpose from here. Okay, as soon as you click some data over here, then the map is displayed on the right side, showing what data we have selected here. For example, educational facility. If I click here, then that is also popped on the map right side. If you see the rightmost part, this gives us an area, this gives us a space to work around with the data set. For example, if I want to switch the layer of this data set, then it can easily be done. You can switch between the layers dynamically over here. Then you can just fix the transparency of the data sets over here. So you can play around these data sets, and if you click I button, information button here, then you can get the metadata information of the data that we use over here. Well, now let me take you to the supply data sets. Say, for instance, for now, we have categorized the supply data sets into 3 broad categories. One is from the LPG, and then LPG, we have LPG supply points for different area where the LPG are supplied. Currently, we have data points from Bagmati province, and there are road networks. Road network is important from the supply point of view. Closer to the road network, better can be accessed for the LPG data sets. And then we have another fuel line, that is electricity. We have existing electricity lines, planned electricity lines. We have medium voltage. We have mini grids. So that is mini hydro in case of Nepal. So many data sets are collected with the help of reports from Nepal Electrical Authority and some prior works done by Windhoek and Virak. Well, these data sets, for example, we can start with like existing MB lines. Maybe that data sets that I just clicked, and as soon as I click over there, then the data is displayed on the middle screen, and then the legends are automatically presented on the top right. So with this demand and supply data sets, now we have this analysis tab. Once you click the analysis tab, then what it does is it now calculates the demand index, it calculates the supply index, it calculates the energy potential index. That's a mix of demand and supply together. And then it calculates one more very important index called finance need index. That means those areas where financial assistance may be needed in order to leverage or in order to provide some assistance to particular type of energy level, energy source in particular geographical locations. Not only that, if you see those small dots on these data layers, for example, in the demand layers, if you see the electrical facility over here, or maybe population of Nepal or something, then there's 3 small dots on the right side of it. So if you click it and then you reset the values, so then we can just go around playing the values. So for example, here population of Nepal, if you want to see what population dynamic you want to look ahead, you can set the filter dynamically on the go. So depending upon your selection, the analysis and the result changes immediately on the right. So this feature is important when you want to look at particular filter, when you look at particular value that you want to set. More than that, because we have already told that these particular filters or data sets that we put over here, they work in multi-criteria analysis sort of geospatial calculation, where various weightage factors are given to various data sets. Then there are places where you can directly set your values by your own. So minimum value, maximum value, and the importance value you can give, so that the engine works in the behind and then gives you a result that you want for your analysis. And then there is another data set called, okay, I'll go to the right first and then come back to the other place here. So if you see, depending upon the supplied data set, depending upon the demand data set, all those indices are generated on the right, and you can see the energy excess potential, and this energy excess potential is divided on the basis of the area share as well as on the basis of the population share. I'm sorry for the filter that I've used over here. I'll just, okay. So both of these data sets, like area share as well as the population share, you can see that brighter the area, higher is the area or the population, depending upon which pie chart that you are looking at. So there's another feature, you can export this data set in GeoJSON format from here, or directly in the report format, or again, you can see what is the meaning of those indices directly from it. What are the values over here, how they are calculated, what is the definitions, everything is provided here. So this feature will help you better define what you have chosen and what result you have taken down. So this is energy excess potential. If you talk only the demand, then the demand of those layers of the data set that you have chosen from the demand side, they will be displayed in the map, and similar result will be there displayed on the right. Again, from the supply index, again, depending upon whatever the data sets that you have chosen in the supply data set, the similar value will be shown on the right on the map, and the percentage share of the population as well as percentage share of the area that is given over there. So financial need index. Sometimes this might be very important to notice which particular area, geographical area needs better financial aid, financial assistance to promote certain particular type of energy fuel. So this can be leveraged with financial need index. And here there are some data sets under other category here. The major function of this other category is to have your filters set. For example, if I choose like household, and then if I see, if I see the electrical axis and see the electrification percentage, for example, then what I can see is I would like to see the area where electrification rate is very low. I want to see which area has lower electrification area. I just select it to 29% or some percent. For example, my focus is to have a plan where I want to see the electrification rate less than 20% or 21%, and I want to have in my analysis. So this, after you do this filter, then you can see all the other areas where electrification rate is more than 20% is automatically filtered out, and you are left out with only the area which is of your interest. Similarly, there are other like data sets over here, household size or like household count, and many other data sets. And this is only an example data set that we have put. Later on, you can have as many as other data sets that you want on the demand side or on the supply side or on the other side. And this gives the whole data set layer that we have put together in this tool. So in the daytime today and tomorrow, we'll be again going to deeper down to this project and see step by step hands-on on those exercises. But today in the inaugural session, let me not take much of your time. Thank you very much for listening so carefully and giving interest to this particular presentation. So with that, I will leave my presentation. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Bhojraj Gimire. Now, may I, now is the remark.
Thank you very much. Chairperson of this program, the Executive Director of AEPC, Dr. Madhusudan Adhikari. Chief Guest, Honorable Member of NPC, Surendra Labkarn. Distinguished guests and the participants from around the world. Nepal Open University has been established 5 years ago to reach the unreached, targeting those who have limited or no access to higher education through modern, open and distance mode. In a short span of time, we are offering more than 25 programs from undergraduate to PhD, including innovative but highly demanded and needed courses for the country. And we are very much pleased to be a part of this international collaboration for developing a geospatial tool to be used by policymakers and development partners for the clean cooking energy, including for strategizing and planning for its promotion. And we have launched a Master in Geoinformatics, which I think is a relevant program to this initiative. Moreover, we have a wide ranges of programs in science, management, social science, education, laws, and governance. Wherein we have been successful in involving renowned faculties, not only from Nepal, but also from abroad. In the present juncture, when global warming and climate change is posing a serious threat to this planet, Earth, as well as the humanity, innovation, development, and the application of clean energy is a global necessity. And we have been highly encouraged to be partner in this initiative. The tool, I believe, is highly useful to locate and identify gaps and take the programs there. As a new university, we have been successful in entering useful collaborations in research works. We are inaugurating another joint initiative at this very venue a short while later today, indicating our keenness and dedication towards such initiatives. I further want to take this opportunity to assure my total commitment in all such innovative and development-oriented research works and activities to be able to contribute in national and educational development process. Having said that, in the capacity of Vice Chancellor of the university, I would like to commit that Nepal Open University is always open to any collaborative research activities and other partnerships for research and educational development. I hope participants will be able to use this tool and apply this in the decision-making process at their institutions. From this workshop, wish you all the best and have a successful workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Bajazare, for your kind words and remarks. Now, may I call for your valuable remarks, Honorable Member, Planning Commission, Dr. Nirlap Karna, for your.
Respected Chairperson, Dr. Madhusudan Adhikari, ED, APC, respected Vice Chancellor, Open University, Professor Dr. Silu Manandarji, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and namaste. I am delighted to be here to address this gathering and inaugurate this global launch of Clean Cooking Explorer. Let me first thank the Clean Cooking Explorer Development Team, APC, Clean Cooking Alliance, World Resource Institute, Royal Institute of Technology, Sweden and Nepal Open University for their effort to bring the platform in timely manner in the current scenario, soon going to be electric energy independence. This tool will be, of course, help policymakers as well as all the key stakeholders who are serious on dirty fuel transitioning into clean fuel. Nepal's key policy documents such as 15th Plan, Ministry White Paper, NDC 2nd, SDG 7 have clearly indicated the target of electric cooking as a primary means of cooking and meeting target of C for all. Clean cooking energy has been and will continue to be a key driver of our modern economy. Starting the decade, we faced the multiple challenges such as load shedding, increased customer of LPG, resulted high trade deficit due to import of LPG. I believe use of this platform, we, the policy makers, can make a right decision for provincial, local to district level, a specific plan and budget allocation to encourage clean cooking transition. It is timely to launch Clean Cooking Explorer this year as it builds on the momentum of clean cooking transitioning, as well as will help achieve Nepal's ambitious clean cooking targets by promoting strategic decision-making, effective planning, expansion of clean cooking markets, and data-driven coordination. I'm encouraged that this platform is first in a kind of for clean cooking sector globally. The government of Nepal looks forward to promoting the Clean Cooking Explorer as a tool to help achieve universal access to clean cooking. In conclusion, the development of clean energy is essential if the Nepal is to address the serious threat of trade deficit, climate change, environment degradation, public health issues. We are at the threshold of a significant opportunity for companies and countries to take a leading role in the clean electric energy sector. Nepal, within our own constraints, is happy to be a part of the ongoing effort for pragmatic and workable solution to meet the global energy challenges. I wish you all for the productive use of Clean Cooking Explorer. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Honorable Member Planning Council, Professor Dr. Surendra Lavkarna, for your kind remarks. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Bhojraj Gimire for to deal with question and answer session, and also audience in the hall. If you have any questions, please go.
Well, thank you for your patience so far. We are almost towards the end of the formal inauguration program. So right now we will have a question and answer session. So we might be getting some questions from our global participants. We'll be getting them from the Zoom Q&A section over there. I would like to request all the global participants out there in the Zoom to post your questions, if any, on the Q&A section of Zoom link over there. And I would also now would like to open the floor for question and answer in the local participants over here. We are physically present. You may please stand up or just raise your hand so that some assistance will be given over there. I might be able to give the answer here. If not, then my technical colleague from around the world are again there to help me out. Please, sir.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
I kindly request you to give your name and organization before you start the question. Let's be very brief.
Yeah, this is Dr. Purushottam Shrestha, working as the Executive Director of Center for Rural Technology Nepal, that we call CRTN. CRTN is one of the, the old organization, national level of, the national, government organizations, non-government organization, and working for 33 years, mainly focusing on the, promotion of appropriate technology and renewable energy, and addressing say gender streaming and climate change issues. So I have some queries in this floor. First of all, congratulations for very nice, insightful remarks and presentations from the distinguished speakers. Yes, based on some backgrounds, like 2/3 energy is contributed by traditional biomass, and energy transitions is high. I'm focused by the government, and from say 2018 to 28, we have the decade of energy. It's a decade of energy and hydropower, and say by say 2030, the 25% will get electric.
Dr. Shrestha, could you be concise, please?
Yeah, in this background, so what the experts has mentioned that existing infrastructure is not enough that much. So what is the government plan of the government to improve the infrastructure? And next question is, yes, by 2030, 25% of the populations or the household will get access to the electric cooking. So what is the incentives will be given to the households who will use this electric cooking, who are really affordable? And there are some also households who are not that capable to afford this clean cooking. What is the plan of the government to get access to, to get this electric cooking? Is there any incentives? And next question is that, we have different level of the populations like rich, medium, and the poor. So what is the incentives to then get access to this electric cooking? And as far as the access to finance is concerned, what the government is planning to provide them subsidized interest? Yes, thank you. These are some of the questions to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shrestha. By the time we figure out who to answer, may I take a few more questions? Please, let's be very precise. We have very limited time for question and answer because we just, skipped initial time. That doesn't mean I would like to discourage it. And kindly give your remarks today precisely on the in and around the tool rather than the policy interventions and other things and plans of the government. That might be a very good suggestions. Of course, we have taken it and then forward it to the concerned government authority.
Thank you. This is Bhushan Tuladar. I'm with FHI 360 right now. My question is just to follow up on that question. On financing part, is there a way to put in a layer on financing available? I know a lot of municipalities are now, or provincial governments are now providing some kind of support. So it'd be good in that Explorer itself, if that kind of information is also available, where financing might be more easily available within Nepal. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Tuladar. So for now, we have given the analysis where it is needed. Maybe where it can be provided is another piece of information to complement that thing. We'll try to incorporate if we get the data. Thank you. Any other questions? No. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Jan Erik Sutsre with the Norwegian Embassy. There's a saying that crap in, crap out. So I just wonder, how many years do you have to sort of maintain the database, which is extremely important to really use this tool in a very effective way? There's a 10-year, until 2030. You have 8 years to go to that period. So what are the plans to really keep monitoring and keep putting in very good data? Thank you.
May I know your representation, sir? Okay, thanks very much. Well, so far on the data side, YANOU is locally here in Nepal to maintain those data as long as the government as well as the CCA wishes. So I guess, and many of the data providers are also available in this alliance. So we think that this data making and then inputting it will be sustainable in days to come. But before that capacity is handed over to AEPC, Nepal Open University will be there to cater the data needs. Thank you, sir.
So, hello, sir. I'm Biraj Gautam. I work with PIDA. Thank you very much for presenting the CC. I was just looking like, it looks like the CC is based in secondary data information. Since the cooking sector is rapidly changing, and also the access and also quality of access to electricity is also changing. In this context, how do we ensure that this platform is regularly updated, and also some of the data, live data is included in this platform, so that we can regularly check the consumption and also supply side in the platform while planning our future projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Biraj Gautam, right? Thank you for the questions. Yes, that is again partially have already answered the questions. So in this platform, we have frequency of the updates maintained at our in some of the data can be updated every 5 years, some every year. Some of the data might need update every month, or few on every 6 months or something like that. We have already have the list of data sets that needs to be updated in different span of time. So as I told, Nepal Open University will be taking care of that data part until and unless a structure is maintained in AEPC. And then the rest of, after that, AEPC will take over this technicality of updating the data. Of course, institutions like Nepal Electric Authority, or even National Bureau of Statistics or ECMOD have already shown their commitment towards updating the data, whatever they develop at their institutions. Thank you very much. Okay, there one question. Alicia, in between, if you have any questions from around the global participants, please let me know. And I'm right now in the Google Doc that I've shared.
Okay, yeah, there are no questions from the virtual audience so far.
Easy for me, thank you.
What is the governance mechanism to get data from the local, provincial, and federal level?
May I know your name, please?
I'm Rasu Manandar from UNDP.
Okay, Rasma Manandar.
Rasu
Manandar. Okay, what data you are indicating right now?
No, that you have mentioned that we'll getting data from the local, provincial, and the federal level, right?
Basically, the data, whatever we are putting right now, most of them are the local level data, but are produced by central authorities. If we need some local data on the demographics and other data sets that are collected locally, then we'll take this tool. As you have seen that this tool can be leveraged up to the local level. So after they start using it, and then we will get some spatially distributed data on the local scale through AEPC, and then get it updated here. But most of the data sets used here are generated on central level. But the analysis is done up to the local level. It's just the other way around. Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning. My name is Achyut Aryal. I'm from Nepal Renewable Energy Program. Okay, the thing is, what we realize that while promoting this e-cooking facility, one of the important aspects is to consider that whether the household has adequate wiring or not, because they need to have at least 16 ampere wiring. But most of the households that we are working in the remote area, they have 5 ampere, so whether we can get that kind of information from this platform or not. And that is one. And also what is important that all the people that want to adopt this technology might need a kind of repair maintenance center close to their area, whether you are also considering that factor in this platform or not. Thank you.
Could you repeat the second question, sir?
The repair and maintenance for e-cooking, right? If you are promoting induction or other infrared cooking, and they need to be repaired because it's electrical appliances. So they need to have that kind of facility close to their villages.
Well, great. Thank you, sir. So far, we have not envisioned that. Let's see if that can happen. We'll consider that. Thank you for the good suggestion, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sonam Ranamagar from Scotland, Nepal. I have a question here. How have you planned this Explorer easily accessible to the general people? How are you going to make this accessible to everyone? Thank you.
Thank you, Sonam Ranamagar. So as I just, did I pronounce your name correctly? Thank you. So as I just mentioned earlier, what we are doing is in a day or two, this tool will be open to anyone. Even today, you can just self-register and start using the tool right away. So this is an open tool. This tool is not for AEPC right now alone. It's for all of us. Hope I answered your question. Well, I will have a final check from Alicia. Alicia, sorry, I might have, looks like I overstepped some of the questions that could have been better answered by some other authorities. Anything that we need to cater right now from the global audience and from your end, Alicia?
No, there are no questions from the global audience.
Any other clarification that you want to make or amend my response to any of the questions?
No, I really appreciate the suggestion to consider household wiring and proximity to repair and maintenance. I think that's a really good point, and definitely want to look into how we can incorporate that for electric cooking.
So then final question, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm currently working as a researcher at Kathmandu University, Renewable and Sustainable Energy Laboratory. So government organization and APC are currently providing subsidies to promote e-cooking. And moreover, I said supply and demand sides are forecast here. So through this tool, can we input the government subsidy or the fuel cost in these tools as a parameter? So that's my question. Thank you.
Madhusan sir, I think this question I'll direct to you. Okay, technically, if we get those data updated, I know APC has different system to cater into the subsidies provided. So we'll again discuss with APC, and then in the days to come, we'll see if that is catered in the days to come. Well then.
So can we enter the subsidy cost in these tools or not?
Technically, yes, if we move ahead. So there might be other issues related to it. So let's have a separate discussion on it, maybe outside this, because now we are waiting. We are making people wait in the midnight somewhere else. So I don't want to extend this question as I said right now. We have a whole day again today and tomorrow. We can have other questions that are not answered right now in the prolonged day session.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you a lot for your active participation in question and answer second. Thank you a lot for your very insightful remarks that you have provided. Certainly this will help us to have a better tool developed and maintained in the days to come. With that, we will have the end of question and answer session. Now over to you, Karunadi.
Thank you, Pooji. Now, may I request Dr. Majdusan Adhikari, Executive Director of APC, to deliver closing remarks and vote of thanks.
Thank you, Karunaji. Sorry for the interruption. Chief Guest, Honorable Professor Dr. Surendra Labkarna, member NPC, and also the Vice Chair of Alternative Energy Promotion Center, BC Nepal Open University, Professor Dr. Shilumanand, Karuna Bajrachari, Country Rep of CCA, distinguished guest, senior energy experts, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the organizer for organizing this event. Global opening of this is very important. People participating from internet are also welcomed here. And thank you to the team of the organization, 6 organization who has done hard work, Clean Cooking Alliance, World Resource Institute, KTH University, Khartoum, and Nepal Open University, and Alternative Energy Promotion Center. This is a kind of new IT-based technology. We are learning many things. Though our preparedness is not that good, but we should try to catch up the time. And this is the time of technology, and especially the internet-based IT-related assistance in our working procedures, decision-making, and governance are coming up. We are trying hard from the government side also. On the clean cooking issue, I think we all are very known, and APC is also crawling to help people by different ways to improve their cooking fuel technologies and the issues related to cooking. We worked for a long period in the improving of mud-based stoves. Then we moved to metallic stoves. Biogas is one of the pioneer thing we have been doing. And then now we have all decided there's a time to look forward in electric cooking. And this is the need of the time. Everything has already explained. It is the use of our domestic electricity, replace LPG, balance foreign currency, trade, and so many things. And on top of that, the most important is to join hand on reducing the carbon dioxide and black carbon emission to protect the environmental issues. So in all aspects, this is a small initiative. If you look into the small corner in a house, somebody is burning wood and it's creating problems. Small solutions of few thousand rupees helps to reduce it to a very different extent. On the health of the person associated in the cooking, to the society, to the environment, to the world. So this is most, and then we are together here and joining hand, a lot of development partners, and the NGOs are supporting APC. And then government also is committed. We need to have the proper support system to have informed decision making, and this GIS-based open access for all on the possible available GIS information on the cooking is associated, but also useful to other things is, I think, very useful. And then APC has, you have been knowing us, we have our own limitation, our own weaknesses, but we have been trying to adopt new and emerging things to at least have a demonstration and learning platform for government, for people associated with the sector and all. And we have also agreed to host this Clean Cooking Explorer and trying to maintain it. I am also discussing with CCA. We may transfer this to any other partner to manage it. It's not that APC has to do it, but as it was developing, CCA was helping us. We have all time constraints, so we have accepted this to maintain it. But I'm equally happy if some university like Kathmandu University, even Open University, or University, Tiruvan University, or any institution who could do it better, we can transfer it easily, no problem, because it's not that the APC, the government has to do it. But I think from the glimpses, I have seen this presentation a couple of times. You might also see this now. If we can, as a gentleman rightly said, if we put the right thing inside, and it's really useful for our informed database decision making. So I think this is one of the most important areas where developing countries are lacking. We make our decisions on the intuition basis, on the guess basis, on our experience. Many times these are not that accurate. So technology based, data supported decision making is always good. So I think this is very useful, and to the extent possible, APC is committed to maintain it and also make it easily available to all the stakeholders. And as I mentioned, I'm also open that if someone really comes up with a commitment, we can transfer the responsibility to one good organization to maintain it. I think that's the most important thing for today. I want to thank you all being here, especially our minister was also very interested to launch this. We had a long discussion before and fixed the program, but all of a sudden, due to the Prime Minister visit and some other engagements, she could not make today only, but she has arranged this arrangement, requesting Dr. Karna to attend this important event. So especially thanks goes to Dr. Karna and VC sir, madam, and all. I think this is a joint efforts. Let's join hand and use this effort. CCA is with us. We have been also sourcing different funding mechanism, like GCF also agreed to give us a project. We have already discussed this. There's a 1 million cook stove improvement project costing around $5 million, which is already approved. It's going to be implemented from next year. And government also supporting us every year around 400 to 500 million rupees, 40 to 50 crore every year on clean cooking. So initiatives, support, and backstoppings are there in this sector. Let's join and make it effective. So I would like to thank you all for that. So far you have provided, and hope to get more in the days to come. I think some questions came in general electrical cooking barrier. There are a lot of things, but today's issue is what is this Explorer? What can it be used for? And then how can we make it effective? And then a bit more on this. But I think there are subsidy issues. We can be also have a database in APC. We have a separate IT-based system, online subsidy administration system, which is keeping the data of all the subsidy, including the subsidy in clean cooking solutions. But we can also connect it to this, who got the subsidy and all details. And then someone talked about the infrastructures. Yeah, we have issue of infrastructure, but we have in general the interruption and the peaking issues. But I think when the power is on and is running, besides the peak hour, I think I have been assured by the NEAMD that up to 20% over capacity of the grid utilization is not issue. And we have also talked to a number, 1 million of induction stoves in the existing system should not be a big problem. But of course, we need to include this issue of infrastructure strengthening in the clean cooking agenda, which is handled by NEA. And NEA has assured if we come up with a program in a particular area where we need to upgrade the infrastructure, NEA is open to support anyone bringing the project if it is sizable to need to improvise the electricity infrastructure. In the financing, fuel prices, replacement cost, changing the behavior, market availability of good quality stove, quality assurance of the system, repair and maintenance. These are the issues comes simultaneously along the way as we move on. We have to learn from the experience also, but there has been a lot of discussion. We have also initiated our clean cooking support through our ANDRE program, British Embassy supported program, which has already signed contract with 5 national cooperative banks. They have already agreed almost across the country to capacitate, to look for the operation maintenance centers, and also to make provision of cheaper credit or easy access to electric cooking. So we have targeted a number as a 50,000 household, but that's not limited to that numbers. That's a program target, but the support, the technical support will avail for all the potential area beneficiaries. So we are trying to do from all aspects of the possible. As you know, we have limitation. I do not want to claim the performance of the government to the expectation, but as a partner, we have been working together for 25 years. AEPC is open to the suggestions, supports, whatever. And I think this will be another link for us to be connected and to improvise it, to build on it, and to get the benefit of it. With this, I would once like to thank once again to everyone, especially those distinguished guests to give always time to listen us, and then to the dignitaries for their busy schedule. Hope this 2 days training will clear up all the matters and we can let's start the implementation of this Explorer, and we will improve it, and we will use it as the time is for the IT-based solutions and decisions. So APC is committed to do this. Please contact our bioenergy section. Dr. Kundan Mazgaya is here. Dr. Rana Bahadur Thapa is leading the component. But if not, our Navaraji and myself also we are available for all kind of queries and support. Thank you for this morning. Thank you, international participant. Sorry to disturb you in the midnight, but this is what happens when we are globally connected. Someone has to compromise, and sorry for that. And thank you for your active participation. Thank you.